Yes, people, welcome back to another video. I'm Jay Dillon, owner of TMT, and over the past 4 years, I've generated tens of millions of dollars for creators on OnlyFans. Today, in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how we took a creator from $500 to over $15K in just 3 months. And if you follow everything you see in this video, you can too. Right, so the first thing we did is we found a winning vertical. And the way we did this is we gave our model 4 verticals that was authentic to her. This will identify us what her audience actually wants. So we are posting the content that the people on her page want to see, right? So we gave her 4 verticals that was authentic, content that she wanted to create. Now this is where we get on a phone call with her multiple times and we just list out all of her interests, all of her hobbies, and then once we have enough information, we then get creative around that because she's already told us what she likes to do, and then now it's our job as the agency to make viral verticals around this. And what we found after tracking the data is that one of them specific verticals was 3x the median views. So now what you do is you have your 4 verticals. You need to track the data on all these kind of verticals, get all the views, combine them, and then have a look for each posted what gets you the most views. And one of them was 3x the views to the other 3 verticals. So now that helped us with the next step, which we go from getting views to building a brand, right? This is what you are known for. If I was to say to you, who's that girl with blonde hair, blue eyes, and she sleeps with 1,000 men in 24 hours, you obviously know who I'm talking about, Bonnie Blue. That is what you are known for. That is a brand. Who is that girl that is good friends with Sophie Rain and she's in the Bop House? Camilla, right? These are the things that you become known for around the stuff that you are already going viral for. Now, this is where it becomes very important that you not only keep this on your socials, but all the way down to your OF page and all the way down to your content. So if you're going viral for Omegle style videos, you need to be known as the Omegle girl. I know Omegle is getting overused right now, but that's just an example, okay? You need to find out, first of all, you need to identify as many verticals that is authentic to you, that you actually want to create as the model, and then out of those 4 verticals, track the data and find out your best performing vertical. That is what you need to build your brand around, because it's something you already want to do. It's already your best performing your best performing vertical, sorry. Now this is what you get known for because you build your whole brand, your whole socials around that one winning vertical. Right, so now let's break down the batch filming and distribution. So this is the journey of what we look at when we are trying to, blow up a girl's account and get her going viral, okay? So the first thing you want to do is test verticals, then you want to look at the data. Then based off the data, you want to refine those original verticals, then you want to bulk film, and then you want to mass distribute. And then you just want to, again, just go back into that same cycle, right? Test your verticals, have a look at the data, what's working well, use that data, actually use the data that you are tracking. A lot of people aren't even tracking data. I've said this before in multiple videos. If you don't track, you simply don't care, okay? You need to track. You cannot master what you don't measure. So from that data, refine the contract, bulk film, mass distribute over and over again, okay? So for this model, she had 2 filming days, okay? So this means that twice a week, she was getting a new content plan based off the data that we have gathered, right? The data that me and my team have analyzed over the last recording session. Twice a week, she would get an updated version of what's already working and how to do it better, okay? And now, again, knowing what went viral from data twice a week as an agency, that is so valuable. Imagine twice a week on a model that is going viral, you can constantly have a look at the data and improve and improve and improve. And now that is why this is so important. You need to have set days, right, of your week as a creator. Whenever you can record, only you know that. Have them 2 days and nothing else happens on them days apart from this, because this is something that can change your account from $500 to $15K, okay? Now, when it comes to mass distribution, obviously we've got a scheduling team. Again, if you're a creator by yourself, you cannot be doing all this by yourself. You cannot be, first of all, understanding what verticals to test, then use the data to improve, then refine your own content plan, plus bulk film, and then after all of that, you need to mass distribute it. So our system for this creator, she had 3 Instagram accounts, 2 Facebook accounts, and 2 TikTok accounts that were all going viral at the same time. And what that equals is 10K link clicks daily. Now have a look at the link in your bio. If you're with an agency, ask your agency, how many link clicks am I getting a day? I can guarantee you it is in nowhere near 10K. And this is the biggest thing that people struggle with. You can get views, or you might have one Instagram that's getting views, you might have one TikTok that's getting views, but you're competing against creators like ours that have 3 Instagrams, 2 Facebooks, and 2 TikToks. And by the way, I'm pretty sure apart from her main Instagram, all of these other, and obviously her Facebook, the rest is full agency run. So we create Facebook accounts, we create Instagram accounts because we already have the winning verticals. We already have the data that shows us that it is worth it for us to have one of our Instagram accounts that we have already made in the past and give it to this model because the content is there. That is the biggest thing for us as an agency. If we have a creator that is hardworking and creates the content that we actually need based off the data, we are more than happy to be giving you multiple Facebooks, multiple TikToks, multiple Instagram accounts, because we know we have that content there and we have the distribution team that will get all this content out to all of these socials. Right, so next I want to talk about something I don't see anyone talk about or explain, all these gurus online. I don't know if they actually know this, but if they do, they definitely aren't telling you about this. And this is the journey of the fan from the socials to OF, right? You have to understand the journey of a fan. So put yourselves in the shoes of the fans, okay? They see a video on your socials that they like, they follow you on your socials, they like the picture, they might be in your Insta DMs, but more importantly, the ones that we care about are the ones that they subscribe and then they see the feed. Once they subscribe, the first thing that they're gonna look at is your OF feed, okay? And then they go into your chats. So whatever you're doing on your socials, you need to carry that on all the way up until the point of when they are going to buy. People don't understand this. So this is an example, right? If you're going viral on your socials for countdown videos, a fan is going to see these countdown videos, okay? So when they subscribe, in your feed, you need to see, they need to see countdown videos, and this is where you can obviously be a little bit more explicit. But again, these are on your OF feed, so you don't want to be too explicit, but you can be a little bit more naughty, but it needs to be within the same niche, same brand. You need to carry that on, right? You need a continuation of your brand down to your OF, right? And then in chats, for example, if you're going viral for countdown videos, JOY in chats, this is how you get the fans, right? This is how you give the fans what they actually want and get the most out of them. If, for example, you are a girl next door on your socials, they subscribe, the minute they go on your feed, you've just got long tapes and videos and bundles for the most explicit content for the cheapest price. Well, that's not very on brand with a girl next door. So you need to carry that on. If you first of all, if you don't even have a brand across your socials, go back to what the whiteboard before and you need to build that yourself. You need to understand what is the content that you like and get that posted right. You have a brand. That is good. Now continue that on. Don't just stop that on your socials. People think that, you know, the aim of the game is just to get these subscribers to subscribe. That's not what the game is. That's the easy part, getting them to subscribe. The hard part and where the real money is keeping the journey of the fan intact. You do not want a subscriber to sub to your OF, look at your feed, and in chats you are selling something that is completely different to what they originally know you for. You are burning the fan before you've even said hey to them in the chats, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. Right, so the next thing I want to talk about is different ways to extract money from the fans, okay? So for this model, for her to go from $500 to $15K, we actually used OF lives. Now they can either be weekly or bi-weekly, but obviously the more the better. You want to do at least 1 or 2 a week if you can. You don't want to do too much. You definitely don't want to be doing daily lives because then it ruins like the novelty of you going live. People start expecting you to go live, and you definitely don't want that. So try and keep it weekly, if not bi-weekly, that is fine. But this is the 3 things that you need to think about when you are going live on OF. I have just made a full video of me breaking down one of our OF live strategies, or our actual OF live strategy, but I'm just going to quickly break it down for the purpose of this video. So the first thing you need to think about is the actual promotion of your OF live. Obviously, if you don't promote your live and you don't have any fans, you're not going to make any money. And with these lives, you can easily make between 1.5K and 3K within a 30-minute, 1-hour live. So this works really well. But the first step is promotion. So there's 3 areas that you want to promote and 3 areas that you want to keep in mind. So you have your socials, your main socials. So for this model, it was at Instagram. So what you want to do is on your socials, on your OF feed, and on your mass messages, right? You want to promote your OF live 24 hours before, 1 hour before, and 5 minutes before. Now this 24-hour before promotion, it needs to be as if like, you know, you've just thought of the idea of, I'm going to do this live, I'm doing X, Y, and Z this time tomorrow, and actually set a time for like 5 p.m. and actually post the first story at 5 p.m. the day before. And then again, 1 hour before is you getting ready. And then 5 minutes before is you fully ready to do the live. And obviously on socials, you have to be a little bit more tame. On your OF account, you can obviously be a little bit more explicit. And this is where the magic really happens, is within your OF feed, you can have a pinned video and posts of whatever it is that you are going to do, and you hyping up this live, okay? I know the live structure is a public live to a private live, and the private live, try and keep between $10, $15 or $20 entry, okay? So when you start your live, it's a public live to everyone that's on your OF account, okay? And you set that for like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and the aim of the game is to get people to tip. You're not showing anything. You can flirt and be a little bit, you know, build some excitement and curiosity, but you don't want to show anything. You don't want to give people what they want just yet. You want them to tip, because then when you go on your private live, that is when you have a live full of people who have either tipped $10, $15 or $20, however much that is. That is personal preference, but for this model it was $20 entry, and everyone that has tipped $20 in that first 10 to 15 minute public live, the public live, you end that, you start a private live with everyone that is tipped. This is a VIP live, and now you're in a live full of spenders that have already subscribed and paid that $20 entry, okay? Now the third thing is you need to keep this on brand, okay? So you need to ask yourself, why are these fans subscribing, and how can you integrate this within your lives? So like I said before in the previous board, if you're going viral for countdown videos on your socials, then probably just do a JOY live, but keep that for the private live, and big it up the fact that you're going to do a private live within 15 minutes, but you have to tip $20 to do a live JOY or whatever it may be. Continue on what you are doing on your socials, because again, I cannot stress this enough, you need to give people what they want. Why are these people here to begin with, and what do they want? If these people are here for countdown videos and JOYs, but you're out here just doing the complete opposite and being filthy and whatever, yeah, you might make a little bit of money, but you're not going to really maximize how much you can actually extract from your fans. Right, now let's talk about how we actually utilized the model's OF content to make as much money as we possibly could from the content that was already on her account. Now, this is not talking about scripts or anything like that. That is completely different. But there's three things with this, okay? So the OF feed post is the first thing, okay? People neglect OnlyFans feed posts a lot, and I do not understand why. This is like a premium version of your Instagram, a premium version of your TikTok or Facebook, whatever your highest performance social is. This is just like a on steroid version of that. So you need to be posting high quality feed posts, but that are on brand with your socials. So whatever it is that you are posting on your socials, wherever your brand is, I've said this before and I'll say this again, you need to continue that on. But you have the luxury of being a little bit more explicit because it is on OF. So you can be a little bit more naughty. It has to be the pictures that are high quality of the best features of yourself, okay, on your OF feed post. Never really explicit. You don't want to show anything that someone would pay for. These are still stuff that are like free pictures, but high quality, because this is, at the end of the day, this is what's going to get these fans into your chats, okay? So if you are not using your feed, if you don't have a schedule of constantly posting, but more importantly, taking out some pictures, because you don't want a feed post that's got hundreds of you don't want a feed post that's got hundreds, if not thousands of media. The last thing I want to see when I work with a new creator is a feed post full of content, because again, the first thing a fan sees is your feed. So now if you've got hundreds, if you've got thousands bits of media, that fan's going to be stuck just watching all of that before they've even had the idea of going into your chats, because they're entertained by your feed. So roughly try and keep around 50, the lower the better, but let's say around 30 to 50 bits of media on your feed that you want, okay? And you need to continuously take out the oldest ones and add in new ones, because you will pop up on these guys' feed with your high quality on brand posts, okay? Now, number two, with mass messages, these are pay-per-views. Now, don't have a heart attack. This isn't crazy. We're not going to send out the craziest mass messages. This is, again, on brand with the model, okay? You do not want to overuse mass messages. Maybe a couple a week we will use, but you'll be amazed when you do this properly how well this actually works, okay? So obviously, when it comes to mass messages, you want to bundle typically older content, but if a model is going viral for stuff that she's never done before, then you have to get it updated, you need to get more content that's on brand with her socials, but you want to bundle together content, okay? And time wasters, you want to separate all your fans, so you should have three. You should have your time wasters, your casual subs, and then the whales, and you want to treat these guys like kings, okay? Because for the time wasters, you can bundle together content at a lower price. Casual fans, you can higher up the price, and whales, you never want to send mass messages because you want to keep these guys as, you want to maintain the relationship. This is where you get the money out of these whales, because 9 times out of 10 these whales don't even care about the content that you're trying to shove down them with pay-per-views. They just want the content, okay? So a lot of people think, I've got no whales. Having whales is just the output of the input, which should be good, high quality chatting. But that you should be having that anyways. But to add on top of that, you can use mass messages with the people that aren't your whales, so your casual fans and your time wasters, okay? And now objection handling to these mass messages, right? You never want to lower the price. If you send mass messages out, even if they're a casual, even if they're a time waster, never, ever, ever lower the price. Just add more value, just add more content. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can just be a voice note that you've added in, or a picture, or a selfie. It doesn't even have to be explicit, but just add more value, because again, they can't see what you've sent them until they've bought it, okay? So this is the biggest thing with objection handling to mass messages. Now, this isn't a big focus, but a lot of people don't understand that just by adding a little bit more value to the fans that have already been interested. Because if you've sent a mass message out to someone and they've said something, oh, it's too expensive, or there's not enough content in there, whatever it may be, they're clearly interested. There's something there that's stopping them from buying it. And 9 times out of 10, there's not enough value, or they don't think that there's enough value. So if you just add in some more value to the mass messages you are already sending out, you're going to get a lot more people buying, and you're going to make a lot more money in your chats just by adding stuff that people do not do. But those are the things that we focused on to take our model from $500 to $15K within 90 days. It really is that simple. And I think the overall idea of this is that there is no luck with this. This is all strategy. So if you want to use our strategies, or if you want us to even just do a content audit or a marketing audit, if you're an OF model, we are more than happy to do so for free. We can have a look at your socials, have a look at your content, and say, look, you need to do X, Y, and Z better. We can do that for you for free. If you would like that, just message me on my Instagram down below. But if you've enjoyed this video and there's been some kind of value you can take away into your own lives, that will be amazing. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.